Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. Here's a rather astonishing statistic. 3% of the population makes 97% of all the money that's earned. So, if you'd like to achieve financial freedom one day, here's a question that may come across your mind. How do so few people manage to earn such a high percentage of the available money? And here's the question I ask. How does such a large portion of our population get by with such a small percentage of the available money? And I'm going to tell you, people have a lot of money because in some circumstances, they do what I'm going to recommend here. They have multiple sources of income. You should think of your income streams at your home similar in the same way as diversifying your investment portfolio. So that way, when one of your income streams suffers, the others can make up for it. And if none of them are suffering, then baby, you're making a lot of money. You get the picture. Unfortunately, most of us weren't conditioned to think of earning money this way. I grew up in a very poor household. My mom had a hard time paying the bills. It was constant complaining and banter in our home around money. Money was a problem. And her mom and dad had money problems too, and so did their mom and dad. And I found that money problems are usually they span generations, and it's something that I wanted to stop in my life. I wanted to do something different. I'm already handicapped. At this point in time when I decided to start businesses and have success in my life, I was sitting in a wheelchair, paralyzed on the left side of my body, couldn't walk, I had many people around me just pointing out the limitations that I was going to suffer from into adulthood. And I just knew that, hey, if anybody's going to break this trend, if anybody's going to turn me into somebody that's going to make this life worth living, I'm going to have to do something a little different. So, without guidance, it can be difficult to figure out where to begin, but I'm hoping to give you a start here, okay? Now, I want to tell you the truth about jobs, the W-2 job, for instance. Here's another truth about wealthy people. We own companies. So if you still have a regular job and you'd like to enjoy great wealth, I recommend starting a business. And you may think that you'll eventually accumulate wealth from the income you earn from your W-2 job. However, for most people, the odds of becoming financially free from a job that's their only source of income are quite low. And here's the deal. Don't confuse having retirement wealth as being a wealthy individual. Wealth also impacts your existing circumstance as well. Hey, I don't need $5 million when I retire if I'm living on $500 a week right now. I want to enhance my current circumstance. This is the only life I get. And at the age of 48, I want to have a happy and fun life just like I'm going to have with my retirement income after the age of 65. Don't segment your life into certain financial circumstances. Hey, it's okay for me to struggle right now because later when I retire, I'm going to have this great life and I'm going to buy the house I want in the mountains and I'm going to travel the world. You know what people say. I'm telling you what, do that stuff now. You deserve to have the life you want to have today. And tomorrow's not promised. So, one thing, we look at old people, and when we do, I tell you what, you better look at them in this circumstance or in this way with gratitude. Because I tell you what, it is a privilege to get old. Not everybody does. And setting money aside, you may be setting that money aside and your family gets to use it or somebody else. But if you're looking at your retirement income as an indicator of your individual wealth, I'm telling you, look around you today. What is your current circumstance like? That's an indicator of where your current wealth is. Having future investments and things like that are nice to have, but there's no guarantee. I know I'm going to live my life today, so I want to enjoy my life today, and I want you to too. So here's the deal. Well, Doug, starting a business is difficult. It takes money to make money. That's not 100% true. I want to tell you right now, I have many friends who own multiple businesses, have multiple sources of income, and they came here from foreign countries. They didn't speak the language. They didn't have influential friends everybody tells you you need to have in order to start a business, and they didn't come here with a whole ton of money either. They came here, they worked, and then they went, they opened a business. After opening a business, they've just continued to cultivate that business, and it's become, in some circumstances, multiple separate organizations, and they enjoy really great lives. Anybody can do it. And I would say if you were born here in America, you have a leg up on those individual friends of mine that have come from other countries with such disadvantages, so you have less excuses. You need to go out there and do it. And you can. You're smart. You have this supercomputer. You have all the equipment you need right here. You're amazing. You're wonderful. And I know if anybody can do it, you can. And you know, while starting a business, while working a job may seem overwhelming, I know that you can do it. And the easiest, fastest, and most effective way is by doing something that is closely related to what you're already doing or something you're really good at. And if you're already a business owner, creating multiple sources of income will be even easier for you. You know, sometimes business owners think creating multiple streams of income means starting a second company. And while that may be true in some circumstances, and it might be something that you do at some point, it's a lot easier to find multiple sources of income within your current business or within the field you're currently working in if you're not yet a business owner. And I'll tell you what, you know, it's interesting because planning and launching a new source of income is the most time-consuming part, you know, planning and figuring out what you want to do. And you want to avoid the temptation of jumping into several ideas at one time, because putting your focus into many areas will dilute your efforts and slow you down. And you know that already, right? Because you know you've set a primary goal, and now you work towards that primary goal, all-encompassing, just that goal. We work until we achieve that one goal. Once we've achieved that goal to our satisfaction, then we set another goal and another goal. So I'm going to recommend you set as a goal starting a business. And then you take all the same processes and approaches we've used for achieving individual goals and achieve the goal of starting a business. All the same processes work. Everything in that first day 1 to day 30 tutorial that I walked you through on how to accomplish a goal, you can translate all of those approaches, all of those different activities that I had you working on will all work for a business. You know, first you sit down with a white piece of paper and a pencil. At the top, you write down the business you want to start. And we've already walked through this in the past on, I'm not sure which day it was in the 30-day trajectory that I walked you through, but I did walk you through setting guidance for achieving individual goals. One of those was starting a business. If you haven't seen that one yet, go check out my first 30 days. Basically, what we need to do is we need to sit down with that white piece of paper, write your business idea, and then where is the business going to be located? Make sure you describe it thoroughly. What services are you going to offer? Make sure you describe them thoroughly. Who are you going to employ? Describe those individuals thoroughly. Who will your customers be? Describe them. Write this out and make sure you're as descriptive as you can possibly be, and then take action. Taking action towards working towards opening a business is the first step in getting the doors open. You think if you just sit at home, hey, I've got a great plan. Well, unless you take action, a plan means nothing. And I'm going to tell you what, you're going to accomplish a hell of a lot more and learn a lot more if you just get out there and open a business. Just go do it. I tell you what, if you have good credit, bad credit, it doesn't matter. You get an EIN from the federal government free of charge. Now you're a business. You file the papers of incorporation within your state. Just go out to the state government website, search for incorporation. They'll walk you through the process and the necessary legal paperwork that needs to be filed so you can incorporate and set up an LLC. If your state government doesn't offer a thorough explanation, you can just go out online. There are multiple organizations that for a very small fee will help walk you through getting you set up with an LLC and an EIN from the federal government so you can legally be be an employer and pay your taxes. Now, here's the deal. You can go into any bank. Banks are legally required to offer you credit up to $100,000 with no documentation. You can then use that money to start a business. Don't use that money for vacation or for paying off debt. Use that money to start an income generating business. And I'm going to leave it up to you and for your mentors to help walk you through that process. I don't think in a video here I can do it justice, but if you reach out to me or put your questions in the comments section, I'd be more than happy to help you out. And if I can't help you, I'll direct you in the right place where you need to go. Because when you get one income stream up and running, then start the next one. And I recommend developing as many passive sources of income as you possibly can. And that's going to allow you to leverage your time effectively. And I'm going to tell you what, time is, if you can multiply your time across multiple sources of passive income, that's the way to do it. And it's 100% easy to do. Make sure that we're just focusing on one thing and get moving down the road towards that independent goal. Now, creating additional income sources is not going to happen overnight. So you want to make sure you give each of your potential income sources the time and effort needed to get them running. However, be aware that everything is not going to pan out, okay? Everything's not going to work. Like, hey, I'm going to go start 5 businesses and I'm going to start making $1 million a year. You know what? You may start 5 businesses. One of them might actually stand the test of time and be there after 3 years. Okay, one of the things about starting a business in America that you have to realize, more businesses fail than succeed. But that's okay because we don't quit. And you can't quit. As one business goes up and it may go down, and if it fails, that's okay. You've learned. Now you know what not to do next time. You know what business idea may or may not work. You've got new knowledge, new understanding. You're not going to quit. You keep pushing forward because I guarantee you, the more chances you take increases the chances of your success. And it absolutely will. If something doesn't start generating income in a reasonable amount of time, or if you don't like it, let it go and move on to something else. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of Vandergraph advice here. That we give it 36 months. If a business we start doesn't start making money within 36 months and can't stand on its own within 36 months, guess what? We move on and we do something different. Now, though, we have employees we've hired who are trained, who have a knowledge and understanding that we can utilize in a new business to continue to attempt to be successful and generate additional income. Do you know why approximately 97 people out of 100 make only 3% of all the money that's being earned? It's because they use a money earning strategy that will never work if you want financial freedom. They trade their time for money. And the problem with this strategy is it has a saturation point. There will always be a limit on your earning potential because there's only so much time in every day. And of course, we all get the same amount of time, so it is what you do with that time that makes the difference. And the problem is most of us learn from a very early age to get a job, pay the bills, and have some money set aside for a rainy day. So we hoard our money, and as a result, we never drive the car you want or live in the house you really want. And then when you go to the store, first thing you do when you see something you want is to look at the price tag and see if you can afford it. Friends, I'm telling you, that is not the life God intended us to live. The divine created us to live full and abundant lives. So no matter how much you make, start thinking about ways to multiply your time and your money by adding passive sources of income. Then you'll be on your way to reaching the point where instead of always looking at the price tags, you can focus on and get what you really want in your life and be able to give more to others. If you would like help in developing the right mindset to experience this kind of wealth, I tell you what, just put your information down in the comments section, ask your questions, and I'd be more than happy to help you. If you want to enhance your life, subscribe to this channel and watch the videos. I'm telling you, whatever you do, Don't beat yourself up about what you are or are not currently doing. Instead, use the free information that I'm providing to help you become more of who you were meant to be. Friends, I care about you. Setting up multiple sources of income is something you can do. Setting up passive income is easy to do. There's multiple options on the internet. I don't endorse any of the individual specific ways because I don't want to act as if I know what your path to creating amazing wealth is. I don't sell a program. I'm just a successful businessman who has a lot of knowledge and information, and I just want to see you do better. So don't buy some guy's get-rich-quick scheme, because that doesn't work. Maybe instead of buying a get-rich-quick scheme, an idea I have for you, take a walk around your neighborhood. Take a drive through your city. See where the problems are. After you've identified the problems and list them out on a piece of paper, the problems you've identified, and it may be 10 problems, it may be 20 problems that you see. Then I want you to go through each one of those individual problems, and I want you to identify whether or not you have the ability to provide a service or a value that will resolve that problem. You want to create great wealth or passive income? Solve other people's problems. People will pay you to solve their problems. If you look at most of the products that are out on the market today, they solve problems for people. So look around your current circumstance. You may find some easy problems that you have a good solution for, and by solving that problem, you might be able to put more money in the bank. And that would be great for you and your family. You know what? I care about you, friend. I think you're amazing. Thanks for watching my video today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow with some really great stuff. Take care, friends.